Good evening, how are we all? Wrong camera, but never mind, we're here now. Hope you're all well. Thank you very much for coming over and joining me. If we can get a light come on, there we go. On my own tonight, peace and quiet, you might say. No, it's Terry's on holiday, Brian's busy, so I thought I'd just come over and do a live. Not going to be on long tonight. I've got a craft fair tomorrow, so I need to be out the door early. So I thought we'd just come over and do a short live. Got a piece of that wood that I cut, that I put on Facebook the other day with green tinge in it, and people gave me some good ideas what it is. So I thought I'd turn a piece. I've got 3 pieces of it, so I thought I'd turn a piece on tonight's live. So let's get rid of the chit chat and let's get on with it. As I'm on my own tonight, if you've got a question, then please put Q's in front of it so I can see as a question. I've got a monitor over on the lathe, so I'll be able to see the questions and I'll answer the questions as and when. Okay, so other than that, let's get on. So let's get onto the lathe, have a look at this bit of wood. So you can see it's got this beautiful green in it. It's got a little bit of a crack in it, as you can see here, but I'm hoping we can turn a lot of that out before we actually get to where we need to be. But I'm going to oil this. I'm not going to wax it or anything like that. I'm going to oil it, so hopefully when I oil it, if there's a little minor crack in it, it should expand it enough just to hide that crack up a little bit. So let's welcome everybody in. So hi James, Mark, Brian, Paul, Helen, Todd, Vinny, Old Man River, I think it's Dale if I remember rightly. Correct me if I'm wrong, terrible with names. Yeah, it is Dale because someone's just put Dale. So as people come in, we'll just welcome them in. But other than that, let's get on with this. I want to, like I say, I want to get on with it and get it done. Get it done. Hi Roger, how are you? Thank you very much for coming over, everybody. Hope you're all well. Hope you're enjoying this beautiful weather if you're in the UK. Hi Hayley, how are you? Hi Roy. Hi Barry, Colin, hi Colin. So hello everybody anyway, welcome over. Like I say, I'm just going to get this turned up and we'll make a start. So first off, as always, we're going to round it off because I always cut my blanks on my chop saw, not my bandsaw. So what I do is I mark it round and then I cut it at 45 degrees and I cut 22.5, and that gives me all these nice little shapes. So what I do then is I'm just going to round it off and get it round, and then we can move on to flattening off the front edge. No, Roy, on my own tonight, mate. Peace and quiet. So as always, we're going to turn the lathe down low before we start it up. Turn it up gradually let it ramp up, and then we're just going to do a few push cuts to make this round. So I'm holding my handle low, running it through. So we're nearly there, just got a little bit more, so just one more. So nice and round. Hi Charlie, how are you? Andy, hello. Frederick, hello. I think that's everybody. Like I said before at the start, if anybody's got any questions, then please put a Q in front of your question, just so I know that it's a question, because I know you guys like talking to each other and I don't want to butt in, basically. Right, so we've got it nice and round now, got a nice finish on that edge. So now we're going to come round and flatten off the front. So pick up my cut from the middle and just gradually roll out. Let's put on the camera, you can see, always helps, doesn't it? So come in there, picking up the cut, running it through. Actually, use a sharp gouge, helps. That's better. That cut nicer, nice sharp blade. So what I want to do is I want to get it flat. That's what I want to do, and then we'll move on from there. So I think it's bouncing a little bit when it hits these burl bits here. A little bit of burling in there, which are quite hard. So you're getting a little bit of bouncing from that. So what I'm going to do is mark my centre. The one I did the other day, I put a tenon on that. No, I didn't. Yeah, I put a tenon on that. So I'm going to put a mortise in this one. So I'm going to find my middle. How did your demo go last night? It was really good, Roy. Yeah, it was a really, really good demo. Really good club, really friendly. Well, they was friendly when we wound it, when we got on going, but they was all right. So 54mm mortise for the SC4 chuck on standard jaws. So 54mm. So we're going to now bring in our parting tool to create our tenon, no, our mortise, sorry. So I'm going to run just inside that line. So we're going to come in, and I'm going to come just inside that line. And I'm going to go between 3 and 4mm deep. Handle low, so we've got a cut rather than a scrape. Like so. So we're now going to drop our tool rest back down a little bit, and we're going to bring our bowl gouge back just to clean out with the bowl gouge. So it's a little bit too low. So I think the conclusion was on Facebook the other day was that this was a piece of tulip wood. I think that was the overall conclusion, which was really good, because it was nice to know, because I didn't know when I got it. It was in a big slab, well, slightly wider than this by this height, and I cut it into 3 blocks, so I managed to get 3 nice blanks out of it. So we're going to bring our skew in now and just use our skew just to flatten off the bottom of that. So nice and gentle, don't need to push hard on it. Oops, don't do that though, Steve. Just put a little bit of a dovetail on there to hold our jaws. Now we need to mark where our foot's going to go. So around about here somewhere. So that's our foot and our mortise. So now we can start. May have to reduce that foot because it's got that crack in there. So let's just reduce that foot a little bit. Remember, don't take your foot as deep as your mortise, because if you do, then you'll only be holding on that little ring and not the actual blank. So just take a little bit, a tiny bit more off of there. Yes, Mark, I believe it is. We said on Facebook the other day that people said it was tulip. I've never turned tulip before, so I didn't know what it was. But I think that was I think that's what most people said it was. So now what we're going to do is going to start shaping this around to give our shape for our bowl. So I'm going to bring you on there with that on, so you'll be able to see me start shaping it. So I'm going to start doing some pull cuts on here to remove this waste. So nice and gentle. Don't need to force the tool. If you force the tool, you just blunt it a lot quicker. And we don't want to do that. We might as well keep the edge on it as long as we can keep it on. Save on tool steel. So nice and slow. So I'm actually going to concentrate on removing this bit in here before I move round. Because we need to remove the depth of that foot. So we're now coming up to our foot, so we can just gently rub our bevel against the foot just to bring that in there gently, and then just feather out that shape. So that's our foot created. Now we can start shaping our bowl around it. So I'm going to start bringing in a couple of little push cuts just to start swinging this around. So again, handle low, nice and steady cuts around that corner. Letting the tool do all the work. I'm just basically guiding it. Nice sharp tool should do all the cutting for you. Not pushing too hard on the bevel. I'm just gently rubbing that bevel over the wood. If you push too hard, it'll get bouncing. You don't want that. You want a nice gentle transition line and a nice gentle flow around as well. So we're looking here for our shape. Starting to get our shape there, so we just want a little bit more off of here. So the ride, just gently rubbing that bevel gently. We're bringing our handle round to create our shape. I'm just going to stop that and have a look. I'm just going to read the chat quickly because I don't want to miss anything. So let's have a look. I think everybody was here. No, hi Norman, how are you? Dancing with Arvark. Sorry, I forgot your name. Sorry. Let's have a look. No sound, sorry. Everybody else says they got sound. Sorry. I think that's it. I think everybody's trying. Yep, so I think I've got everything. Right, so we got a shape. I just want to refine it a little bit because we've got a little bit of a flat spot there, so I just want to refine it a little bit. That little crack in there is still there, unfortunately. But I don't want to put CA in it. If I put CA in it, when I oil it, it's not going to look right. So I'm just going to leave it and hope for the best. If it splits, I'm not bothered. It was a bit of free wood. I'm not too bothered. If it splits in a month's time, I'm not fussed. It's just nice to turn it rather than burn it. Hi Glyn, how are you? So just going to gently, how I'm doing the final cut is holding my handle low. I've got the tool face virtually closed and I'm just gently skimming over the piece. So it's giving me these nice fine little whispers coming off, and it just refines that surface a little bit. Let's say you're pushing really well, you're not pushing, you're just laying the tool on it and letting it ride over it, and it just feathers out. It's just giving you those nice little whispery shavings coming off. That should give you a lush finish. Lush finish. I sound like a poofter, don't I? Lush finish. Nice smooth finish. Anyway, a nice 120 finish. That's what we're looking for. So the last thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to run a skew over this bottom edge just to flatten that off. So it gives me a nice flat surface. Not too hard, just gently. Just so that flattens out. I'm going to put a little tiny concave on it so it actually sits on the tip of the foot, not all on the whole thing. So it's just going to have a slight concave on it. Like so, and that's enough. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do some sanding up. Not now, Steve. So we're going to sand that from 120. Oh, you have to bear with me because half my gear's in the demo box because I'm demonstrating all weekend, and half of it's still in the drawers. So I'm going to be flitting between my demo box and the drawer. Right. So we're going to sand this up to 120. Like I said, we're going to oil it. So I'm not going to finish. I'm going to sand it, but I'm not actually going to do anything to that. I've lost track now. I'm just going to sand this up to 400 grit, and then when we've done the whole bowl, then we'll oil it. Thanks for the confidence, Glyn. How's Joe? Hope she's well. Right, so we're just going to run this over, making sure we've got our extraction on so it picks up all the dust. Let's put you on that. Let's get rid of that. So when I'm sanding at 7 o'clock. So I'm coming here and I'm rolling it around. It's all in the wrist movement, rolling it around, keeping that 1/3 of the sanding disconnected to the roll at all times, and just keep moving it backwards and forwards. Always helps if you get your sanding disc in the middle of the inertia sander. So we're just going to check that. So that's all nice and smooth. Now's the time to check, make sure we've got any tool marks. We've got a little tiny shallow line there that we're going to get out. I am doing a craft fair at Gorefield Alpaca Centre all weekend, and they're looking for people to demonstrate the craft as well. So I will be at the Alpaca Centre. First time I've ever been there. They asked me to go, and I said I would. So I'm going to take my stuff, all my craft fair stuff as well. So should be a good weekend. There all day Saturday, all day Sunday. So we'll see what happens. So we're just going to clean that edge up in there. Clean up the centre of our so I'm not going to actually touch this outer wall because we know that's nice and round. But start sanding it, you could end up knocking it out of shape, and we don't want to do that. So this is 180. Let's say just quickly get this sanded up. So we're going to move up to 240 grit. When is hashtag week? Oh, it should be this Sunday, shouldn't it? Should be this Sunday, but because I'm demonstrating, I won't have a chance to do it. And I haven't had a chance to do a video. So, how do you reckon? What do you reckon if we did it Monday evening? What's people think of that? If I did a live Monday night and we did hashtag week on Monday evening. Anybody up for that? Hi Ruby, how are you? Hope you're well. Nice to see you in. I forgot about that, Lucy. I've had so much going on, I totally forgot about that. So 320. Paul Silver on Monday evening. Who's Paul Silver? Is that a 360 club meeting? If that's the case, then maybe do it the following Sunday. I'm not at the gun club the following Sunday, so... Hi Malcolm. Hi Michael and Christine. That's what Malcolm's just said. Oh, Paul Finley's on Monday evening. Okay, we'll do it the following Sunday then. So that'll be a little bit later this month, unfortunately. I do apologise, I totally forgot about it, to be honest. So we'll do it the following Sunday then. We're alright, everybody. Lucy says the following Sunday's good, so we're alright. No, I'm joking, Lucy. Right, so that's the plan then. We'll do it the following Sunday. So what date will that be? That'll be the 16th. Is that right? 16th? So I'm just going to take that sharp edge off of there. We're just going to take that sharp edge off of there. So we're going to stop that now. Have a look. Shame about that crack in there, but never mind. It is what it is. 15th. There you go. The 15th. Natural features, as they call them. So that's all done, sanded up, ready to go. So what we're going to do is going to leave that, and then we're going to come in there and oil that afterwards. So we're going to turn that over, nip that up, turn the extraction off. We don't need that on now, do we? So what we're going to do now is just going to cut this out. Hi Alan Gibbs, welcome. Who else we got? Bailey Woodswork, sorry I can't remember your name, I'm terrible with names. Yeah, that's what they were saying the other day, Ruby. Right, so I'm going to flatten this off with a couple of push cut or a push cut, and then we'll start hollowing it all out. So let's get you on a camera that you can actually see on. That's a bit close, isn't it? Move out a little bit. So we're going to start taking this out nice and steady. So we're going to take this over from this side and just flatten that out. Nice and slowly. It cuts really, really nice, this wood. Really, really nice. Hi Susie, how are you? Right, so going to make sure our tool is at height which it's not, it's too high, so we're going to drop it down a little bit. So now we know our tool is at height, so we're going to start gradually nibbling this away. So we want some nice flowing shavings off of this. So we're going to come in and we're going to start gently taking it away. So nice slow passes, don't need to rush it. So because we're coming a lot less steeper than our bowl is, we're going to get to a problem where we're going to have to start taking some decent cuts from the outer edge. So to do that, we need to bring our tool handle over our lathe and then start picking up our cut and running it through that way. And that gives us a steeper angle then. We want to try and copy the shape on the inside to the outside. When you turn the bowl out, enjoy the cuts. You know what I mean? We can all hog it through really quick and get it out as quick as we can, but you know, just enjoy it. And when you're doing this, if you're not so confident, use every cut as a practice cut. So it just gives you a little bit more experience on the tool. Remember, we've got a mortise in this, so we don't want to be going too deep in the middle there. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to start removing some of this waste on the outer edge here. And then we can come back and finish the bottom off when we know we've got the depth we want. So we're now coming to that crack. Thought I could hear it. So we're just going to keep an eye on that. Make sure that don't open up any more with the lathe spinning. I'm going to make sure I stand this side of it just in case it does go bang, because it'll go down that way then. So now what I want to do, I want to start concentrating on getting a continuous thickness all the way through. So that's there is fairly continuous. So I know that that bit is as thick as that. So that means I can remove a little bit more out of here. But before I do that, I'm just going to sharpen my gouge up. So I've got a nice sharp gouge. So I'm just going to quickly sharpen this back up. Won't take many seconds with the Pro Edge. So all my gouges are sharpened at 45-45, which is what a lot of them come out of the factory at. So that'll be good enough for that. Hi Rob, how are you? Hope you're well. Who else we got? Rob Cummins, Kez and Phil. I remember Kez, I remembered, not Heather. Hi Kez and Phil, hope you're both well. Who else do we have come in? We have, I think that's it, innit? Did I see someone else? Warrior Shed, I think I mentioned you, but hello if I didn't. So I think that's everybody. So I'm just going to perhaps take this down to about 1/2 inch wall. I don't want it really thin. But what I've got now, because I know this was as thick as what it is there, I know if I pick up a line here of say 3 or 4 millimeters, as long as I keep that continuous 3 or 4 millimeters all the way through, I'm going to be fine, and that should be fairly close to being the same thickness all the way through. Pushed a little bit hard there, just popped it out, broke the grain. So it's a little bit thick there, so I'm going to pick up the cut there and just run that around a little bit. So I'm going to come in and pick up my cut and just take a little bit more off that bottom edge. Just gently nibbling that, rubbing that bevel against the bottom. If I come in hard and push the heel of the tool on the bottom of the bowl, I'm going to end up with a hump in the middle. I don't want to do that, so I'm just going to pick up the cut and bring it in, and then let that carry on cutting all the way through, so the bevel's just rubbing against that base of that bowl. So a nice little cut on the bottom there, just pop out that middle, so that gives me a nice flat bottom in. So it's fairly equal, it's not far off of being equal there, perhaps a little bit thick there, but remember I've got my tenon in the middle there, so I don't, on my mortise in the middle there, sorry, so I don't want to go too crazy. So I could take a little bit out of there, but that's about the thickness of the wall or the rim I'm going to go for. I'm just going to put a little bit of a chamfer on the rim just so it's going in a little tiny bit. I don't want to push too hard, so I don't want to split it out, so nice and gentle. Just let that tool flow over and finish that edge. So it's a little bit thick there, so I'm going to take a little bit more off of that. So I'm going to come in and pick up my cut here and just gently take that little bit out of there. So it's a little bit thick there, and this is where I go through the bottom of it. That's much better, much better. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Really happy with that. So if you were struggling with getting the bottom flat, there's no harm in going in with a scraper, negative rate scraper, and just cleaning it all up, concentrating on the middle until you get that flat through there. But practice with your bowl gouge, you know, get used to using your bowl gouge as best you can get it. And like I say, when you come into the bottom there, as long as you don't rub that heel and let that bevel just gently rub along the bottom of the bowl, you should get a nice flat bottom across the bottom. You'll see a few turns will actually grind off the heel a little bit, so you don't get that, you don't get that rub of that heel on there. But you know, if you want to grind off the heel, then that's up to you, but I prefer just to leave it as it is. So that's all smooth now, ready for sanding. So what we're going to do is we're going to sand that up. So I need to get a drill. My big drill's in the car, ready for tomorrow. So I'll use this little drill. Hopefully that'll cope. Might just sing out loud. Ooh. Was he singing something nice? or was he just being disruptive? Right, let's get this sanded up then. So I'm using a drill with a sanding pad. So as always, when using a sanding pad, you want to go away from yourself. If you come this way, it's going to try and snatch it around. With this way, you actually, as the drill's going that way, the piece is actually coming into it, so you'll get a better sand, and it's more controllable because you got more control over here. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to run the edge of this disc over here, because you'll start to round it off. Now if you want to round that off, that's fine, but if you want a nice sharp transition line, then you need to keep that disc just inside that line like that. Okay, I'm actually going to round that off a little bit, and I'm going to take this sharp corner off of here as well, because I don't want that on there. But we're going to gradually just sand this back. So my first grit is to get rid of any imperfections. There's a few little tool marks in there, so we're going to get rid of those first. So we're going to run the tool around just to get rid of all those little marks. Trying to keep it flat, we don't want to cause any. Just remember, when you're sanding, you can still cause humps and bumps in it if you don't start sanding it equal. So then we're going to just sand that ledge. I'm just going to stop it, see if we've got rid of all the marks out of it. We had that little shadow line around the outside. And I just want to make sure that I've got rid of all those marks with the first grit. Hi Rob, how are you? So we had that little ridge line in there, that's all gone. So it looks like we've got rid of all the marks. Oh no, there's a little bit there, still a little bit of tear out there. So we're just going to get rid of that. Not today, Rob. Might come tomorrow, mate. Right, so that's sanded up now. So nice and smooth in the middle. So what we're going to do is just gradually run through our grits. Remembering every grit just removes the scratch marks from the grit before it. So we don't need to spend as much time on all the other grits as we did our first one. The first one is just to get rid of those imperfections. So this time it should be just 2 or 3 rub over, and that should be good enough. And remember, we'll get rid of that curve. I want that curve in there, so we'll get rid of that with that. And I don't want that sharp edge on there either. I'm just going to check that, make sure we've got that, yep. Speed up a little bit actually. This drill really ain't quick enough to but the drill I normally have in the workshop is in the car ready for tomorrow. So Fuller Blarney, welcome to the channel. Frederick Day, did I somehow miss the? I didn't get your pictures. I didn't get your pictures, Frederick. You emailed me and I checked. I didn't get your pictures, mate. Right, so that's 240. 2 more to go quickly. Yeah, I'm sure you will, Roy. I'm sure you will. Right, so last one, 400 grit. Like I say, we don't really need to spend a lot of time with the last few grits. Because we're just basically removing those little fine scratch marks from the grits before it. That should be it. Nice finish, which is what we want. Like I say, it's a shame about that crack in there, but I'm not too bothered about it because I think it's a feature. I think some people would like to see it. You mean, in the day when you buy a wooden bowl like that, you're not going to put your cereal in it anyway. That's a bit blurry, that picture, isn't it? So the idea is that people would have it, and that's a feature. Yeah, don't listen to me when you use, like Rob says, don't listen to me when you use your abrasives. Spend hours and hours and hours sanding to get the perfect finish on them. You know, you need to use at least 3 or 4 sanding pads for each grit. No, I'm joking, you don't need to. Kingspor is really good. I must admit, when I first heard about Kingspor, I used to use Kingspor many years ago when I was in the automotive trade. And we used to use it all the time. Until I tried it myself, I was a bit sceptical over it. But I will be honest, it is good. It's not just because I sell it, but it is really, really good. It is really good. Right, so not oil this. And I'm going to put a couple of coats of oil over it to give it that nice, bring these colours out really nice. So I need a tissue, and we're going to give it a couple of coats of Danish oil. I think that'll make it look the best. So, excuse me. Yeah, bless you. Dusty old workshop, that's what that is. So there we go, there's our finished piece. Let's bring it over on an overhead camera. Let's refocus this in, because if not that's going to be blurry. So that should be nice and clear now. So we'll zoom you in a little bit. So there you go. So what we're going to do is going to add a couple of coats of oil, Danish oil. So I'm going to be using, oh no I'm not, because it's in my demo bag which is in the car, which is typical. Or I'll be using citrus burnishing oil. I won't be using Danish oil after all. So we're going to be using Hampshire Sheen's citrus burnishing oil. Now this burnishing oil is starting to get to a stage where, well, I've had it quite a while actually, had it a couple of years I would imagine, so it's now getting to a stage where it's starting to go, so there's not much left in the bottle, but we're going to give it a nice look at that. Absolutely stunning, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. So we're going to give it a couple of coats, nice couple of generous coats, so I want it to soak right in. Makes that green just pop, absolutely does, beautiful. So we're just going to do the back, and like I said, we're going to let it soak for 2 or 3 minutes. Now normally with the burnishing cream you would do it on the lathe so you can buff it off, but because obviously I'm doing it all in one go rather than doing the front and the back, if you leave it for a few minutes you can then just gently buff it off anyway. It's just that you haven't got that, obviously, the motion of the lathe. I suppose I could put it on the lathe and just do it on the lathe. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do it the proper way, the manufacturer's recommendation. So making sure we get it all in the nooks and crannies. Really soaks in well. And the good thing with the burnishing oil is that smells nice as well. It smells stunning. So make sure we get it in that crack so that's not a different colour. As you can see, it just brings that green out. So let's get this back on the lathe, and then we'll just burnish that off, hence the word burnishing oil. So let's just give that another coat. Let's put you back on that camera. Give that another coat. And we're just going to gently start the lathe up. Not too fast, but just enough. I'm just going to use the tissue I put it on with to start with. Now this won't give you a gloss, just give you a satin finish. So I'm going to come in both ways. If nobody's tried this burnishing oil, I would really recommend getting some and trying it, because it really does. Burnishing is just polishing. When you polish, you obviously put a wax on. When you're burnishing, you normally do an oil. So burnishing basically is where you cause a little bit of friction between the tissue and the piece to create a little bit of heat, just to burnish it, to give that a little bit of sheen. So that's basically what it is, Rob. So gently push a little bit of tissue on there, not too hard. And what we're doing at the moment is just removing the excess of that oil. Now you can give this a couple of coats if you want to, but I'm going to just see what it's like first before I decide that. But like I say, don't get excited and think you're going to get a lovely shine out of it, because you're not. It gives you a matte stroke satin finish. No, Roy, it doesn't give a shine. It gives you a matte stroke satin finish. So I'm just going to keep turning the tissue until we get all the oil, all the excess oil off. You don't want it so when you touch it you get oily hands. It wants to be so it's nice and dry. So another bit of tissue, I think. So I think that's nearly there. So just going to pick up the speed a little bit more, just to gently finish that off. Hi Kate, how are you? So there we go, burnished off, as you can see, satin finish on it. Just got a bit of tissue in that little bit of a burl there, or a bit of a knot there. So we'll just blow that out on there. So you can leave that 5-10 minutes and then give it another coat. Or if you're happy with it, leave it at that. Like I say, you don't want it so when you touch it, you get oily hands. So the idea is that once you've done it and you rub your hand on it, your hand should come off clean with no oily trace on it. And like I say, if you get bits what look really dry, like there's a little bit there that's a little bit dry, yeah, perhaps give it another quick coat and we'll see, go from there. But like I say, leave it 5-10 minutes, have a look. So we're just going to give that another coat over. I can feel that congealed in the bottom of the tin. So I think that's about time I threw that tin out. Like I say, get it all nice and even over. Don't need to flood it with oil. Just generous coat on it, just to let it soak in. And just do the back again as well. And like I say, I was a little bit concerned with that crack, but I'm not going to worry about it. It is what it is. You can't change nature, unfortunately. So it is what it is. Yes, it is food safe, Rob. Yep, it's food safe. There it goes. Easy to apply. Over 50% tongue oil. Food safe when dry. Fresh smell when dry. Fading over time. Deeply penetrating and penetrating. Deeply penetrating and penetrating. Okay. Oh, protecting. Sorry. Will not chip, flake, or peel. Naturally water resistant. There you go. So it's all water. It's all food safe. So we're just going to do exactly the same again. Burnish this off. Get rid of all the excess oil. So unlike Danish oil, if you let Danish oil to harden a little bit and gradually put the layers on, Danish oil would gradually, you could get a shine on it. You won't do that with this because it's not designed to shine. If you want to know more about applying this, and you haven't already, you need to go over and do the Hampshire Sheen Finishing Academy. You will learn everything you need to learn about applying the Hampshire Sheen range of products, and they also apply to a lot of other manufacturers as well. So get yourself over there and do the Finishing Academy. It's free of charge. If you haven't done it already and you'd like to do it, go to Hampshire Sheen's website, find the course, put it in your basket, apply for it, or cash out or check out or whatever, how you do it, and then Martin will send you a link for the academy. And you can do the academy at your own leisure. It doesn't matter however you do it, in a week, a day or a year, you take your time and do it, and you will learn a lot of information. I think there's about 3.5-4 hours worth of information. So there you go. So again, I'm going to dry my hands, making sure my hands are dry. Then as we rub our hand across it, we should, there you go, no oil on the hands. So we know we've got it all off. John Foster, hi Steve, can you apply lacquer over? Why would you want to put a lacquer over it, mate? The idea of an oil is that it's a finish. You wouldn't put a lacquer over an oil. If you're going to lacquer it, sand and seal it and then lacquer it. You wouldn't. The oil's not going to. You're wasting your time oiling, mate. Just lacquer it straight away after you sand and seal it. I don't understand why you would apply an oil then lacquer it. I can't answer that question, Kate. If you want to know, message Martin and ask Martin. He'll tell you exactly. It might be some of the solvents in it, because obviously there's a solvent in it to keep it lubricated and keep it going off in the tin. So I would imagine that once it's dry, the solvents are evaporated. That makes it food safe. Perhaps the solvents are not food safe. I don't know. Ask Martin for the data sheet. I believe the data sheet is on the website, so have a read up of the data sheet. But I can only go by what's on the tin, and that's what it says on the tin. Food safe when dry. So as always, when using oil, don't chuck your oily cloths in a bin. Let them dry first before you put them in a bin, because as oil dries it produces heat and they can combust, and we don't want anybody burning their workshops down. So open your rag, open your cloths up, lay them somewhere where they're nowhere near anything that's flammable, just in case. But what I do is I chuck all my oily rags in my workshop wood burner, so if they do combust, it doesn't really matter. Right, so let's have a look at that. Zoom that out, have a look at that. So as you can see, some beautiful colours. So let me go chuck these in my log burner and then I will be back. Right, let's get this out of the chuck. Let's put that gouge away. Let's get that out of the chuck. So as you can see, oops, got a little bit of tissue in there. So where I've just blown that through, where that goes all the way through, that's just blown a little bit of oil out of there. I put a picture of one I did in the week on Facebook because I was unsure of the wood, and it came back where some people thought it was tulip and some people thought it was popular. So I'm still not 100% sure what it is, but whatever it is stunning. Absolutely, done that again. Look. Absolutely stunning. So like I say, these cracks, they might open up a bit more, they might shrink up a little bit more with being a bit of oil in it, I'm not sure, but I'm not too worried about it. It is what it is, isn't it? It's right, better than throwing it away, that's for sure, or burning it. So just got a little bit of tissue in there. So there we are, there it is, stunning bowl. So let's get you on a camera where you can see it a bit better. So there you go. You see that with the light, or too shiny? Nice little mortise in the bottom, something simple. We could put a little bit of detail in there if we wanted to, but we didn't. But nice. Does that pick the colours up? So it looks really brown on the little screen on the side of the camera, but really, really nice piece of wood. Really nice piece of wood. Really nice. Like it. I like it. Tulip popular. There you go. No, there won't be, Rob, because the mic I'm using is a mono mic, unfortunately, it isn't stereo. That's why when I video I have to copy one channel to the other on the video. But I'm looking into getting a stereo one, so hopefully that'll improve soon. But I don't very often use this mic very often. I normally use my Jabra headset because I've got earworms. But because I've got no earworms tonight, I thought I'd have a bit of peace and quiet, let the air breathe, let the ears breathe. When you got ears this size, they've got to breathe now and again. I'll say it before anybody else. Thank you very much. So, any questions? Really enjoyed that. Nice, easy little turn. Nothing too high tech. Actually, it's gone quite quick. What are we on? About an hour. Not too bad for an hour, is it? So I do apologise about hashtag. Obviously, I won't be here. I'm demonstrating tomorrow and Sunday at Craft Fair. So I won't be here on Sunday for hashtag. I totally forgot about it. And if I'd remembered, I'd have done a video for it. But what we're going to do is we're going to move it to a week Sunday, and we'll do the hashtag that day instead. Yeah, I can imagine that's going to be all in one air. Yeah. Well, the system I've got is it's wireless, obviously, and the receiver's up there, and it goes into the PC. And when I bought it, it did say stereo, but when I started using it, it all came through as analog, which I wasn't too happy about. But it's one of those things. I might see if I can do it on. I might do it on OBS where I bring in 2 channels from the same audio and do it that way. That may sound a bit better, but we'll see what happens. Right, I think Tulip Popular, there we go. Yes, we will. We're going to be shouting it out more towards the end of the month. Myself and Rob will be at the AWGB seminar. We will have on the stand, we will have the King Spore products, some of the Buddy. I can't bring all the Buddy range products because there's just too many of them, but I'm going to be bringing some of the best sellers. But you will be, if anybody's going and they want some of the stuff, they will be able to order them there at the show, and then I'll get them shipped out to them as soon as I get back. And we're also going to be having other products there as well, which I will announce nearer the time, because I want people to know nearer the time, not now. So there's going to be 3 different products on the stand. So make sure if you're going to the show, please come over and say hi to myself and Rob. Brian from woodturning is going to be there. Obviously Terry's going to be there. There's going to be loads of makers there. There's going to be loads of people there. It's going to be really. I've never been anywhere. I've never been to a woodturning event and been part of the trade side, so it's going to be a whole new learning curve for me. And believe me, I'm pulling my hair out. I'm pulling my hair out about it. I ain't got a lot of hair now, but I'm getting to a stage where I'm starting to stress over it. So I'm hoping it's going to go well. We'll see what happens, but I'm hoping it goes well. Yes, I will do, Kate. Thank you very much. I'm going to start. I'm going to start doing some short little videos just to start, promoting it a little bit. But that's all in the good. But hopefully, it's all going to be good. It's all going to be good. Like I say, it's a big commitment for me, and a big investment. So I'm hoping everything's going to go hunky dory. So anyway, come over and say hi. We've got some good deals going on. We've got some nice package deals. We've got some good deals going on for people. So hopefully, people will be happy with it. Oh, look at that, rucksacks and baseball caps. Pens and pencils. That's it. I'm a happy bunny then. I'm a happy bunny. So anyway, looking forward to that. Really looking forward to that. Yes. So that's it, I think. Thank you very much, everybody, for coming over and joining me tonight. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you've had a bit of fun. Nice to see so many people in the chat. Really do appreciate the support, as always. So I will stick a picture up on this of social media just so you can get a better look on it, because the cameras don't really do it justice. And then we will see you on the next one. Remember, I won't be here Sunday, but I will be here the following Friday. Yes, I will be here Friday. Hopefully with Brian. So we will see what happens. So anyway, guys, I hope you all have an amazing weekend. Speak to you soon. Take care, and bye for now. Good night. Hit the button.
That's all, folks.